I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. The chilling words of former President Donald Trump shot at his own campaign rally. Proud Republican Blake Marnell thought he had the best seat in the House until it put him in the firing line.
Well, I was in the front row, right basically on the center line, directly in front of the podium. So I would say that I'm about 10 yards or 10 meters from the president, sitting perhaps 1 meter below where he's standing. I was looking to my left when I heard the first series of noises.
Take a look at what happened.
When the second series of shots came, that's when it clicked for me that this is gunfire. And at that time, I kneeled down. I was still watching.
Blake Marnell could hear the chaotic conversation between Secret Service agents piled on top of the former president.
But one thing I did clearly understand is they say, let's get ready to move him. Words to that effect. And then there was a countdown. And as they were counting down the numbers, I was thinking to myself, are they going to be carrying him out? Is he going to be incapacitated? You know, is he dead? Then I saw President Trump stand up. I could see the energy in him. He was saying, fight, fight.
Blake took this selfie just before the rally kicked off, showing just how close he was to a moment that has now altered the course of America's future.
If this had been the worst case scenario, a successful assassination attempt, it would have done, I think, severe damage to just the state of political division in the United States.
Dubbed Brickman because of this suit he's worn to 40-odd rallies across the country, I first met Blake whilst covering the 2020 election.
How many suits have we got all up on this trip?
This is it. You're looking at all of it. 1, 2, and 3 on the trip right now.
Where do you get a brick wall suit?
The wonders of the internet.
It sounds like the way Donald Trump has handled the pandemic hasn't changed how you feel about him.
I think he's handled it well. This is a curveball that no other president has ever had to deal with.
So what's changed between then and now that pushed 20-year-old registered Republican voter Thomas Crooks to pull the trigger on Donald Trump?
There's been a demonization of opposing political parties on a scale that never existed before. There's been a weaponization of our justice system on a scale that never existed before.
This was Joe Biden on Friday on stage in the key battleground state of Michigan.
Donald Trump is a convicted criminal.
The repercussions of doing that are potentially motivating people to do these kinds of acts. And perhaps we should draw back those type of characterizations that we make about people.
Blake suggesting the rhetoric around Donald Trump from those who don't like him potentially encouraged the gunman's actions.
Its potential. Is that what radicalized this person? Did they come to this path of action as a result of what they heard, and where did they hear it from?
It's interesting, right? Because much of the criticism towards Donald Trump was that he had actually incited violence on January 6, and he's now fallen victim to violence himself at his own rally.
I don't believe that President Trump incited any violence after the election or in January. I don't think it's a valid comparison.
Donald Trump touched down today in Wisconsin, ahead of the Republican National Convention, where he'll speak for the first time since the shooting. It's an event which will formalise his nomination as the Republican candidate for president.
There's a group of people out there that their disgust for this assassination attempt will change who they support.
So do you think this might, in a way, help Donald Trump's campaign?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you look at one of the main criticisms of President Biden is that he may be frail, he may be elderly, and here's Donald Trump, who literally took a bullet to his head, a grazing wound, but afterwards reacted in a way that nobody could assume that Joe Biden did. It shows his fighting spirit.